Folks, I'm going to say this to you guys right now. What the fuck was that ending that we got tonight? What was that? Can somebody explain to me why they did what they did to end the show? Why? Why you want to pull that off on the road to WrestleMania? Why? 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 Coming into this Chamber Sunday, we were asking ourselves, was Drew going to retain the championship? Was Drew going to lose the championship? What the fuck is going on with the rest of the card tonight? And will this show be, just as good as the Royal Rumble was back on January the 31st? We just came out of the Royal Rumble, right? We just came out of the Royal Rumble, and we go from a great pay-per-view like the Rumble to this pay-per-view tonight called the Elimination Chamber. Sunday, February 21st, 2021. What was that ending that we got tonight? Don't get me wrong. Both chamber matches were good. Fine. It's just that this chamber pay-per-view gave us more questions than answers tonight. The only answer, I believe the only answer so far we got out of this fucking show was the fact that Edge picked Roman Reigns for WrestleMania for the Universal Championship. You didn't hear me, right? I'll give it to you again. Edge picked Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the fucking table, for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania. Did I make you spit out your water? Did I make you spit out your food? If I did, I apologize. But holy shit, why? I've said this for years, as long as I've, been on YouTube back in the past. WWE creative fucking sucks. If you thought 2020 was bad creatively, this year's gonna be worse. Worst. Absolute worst. Now, WrestleVotes tweeted out on Friday that the plans for the WWE Championship was open. How open? We don't know. I think we kind of figured out how open it was after the ending of this fucking show. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. You have Drew McIntyre lose a match on Monday Night Raw, pinned on Raw Monday night. He comes into the chamber, does what he had to do, wins the chamber, only for Lashley to fuck up McIntyre to the point where the Miz comes in and cashes in Money in the Bank to win the WWE Championship. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? The Miz in 2021 is WWE champion. I'm sorry, but at this point, I have to say this, and I don't really give a fuck who I piss off. If you love the fact that The Miz is WWE champion now and going into WrestleMania again as WWE champion, you may be a fucking straight up idiot. If you enjoyed that, you must be a blithering fucking dumbass at this point. I'm sorry, but if I pissed you off, I don't give a shit. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. Now, we will go over everything. We will go over everything that happened on the show tonight. Some good spots, whole lot of bad, of course, as if there is every single fucking week, even if it's on Raw or SmackDown. The more things change, folks, the more they stay the same. We will go over everything on this show tonight and what I thought was a not bad of a show. But I will go off when we get to the WWE Championship Chamber match. I will go off. I'll go off. And also, when we talk about the SmackDown Chamber match that kicked off the show, which I had a feeling that it would kick off the show. Because you got to balance, because you got to balance out the two chamber matches from beginning to end. So you had to do that. So it was only a matter of time of which one would kick off the show and which one would main event the show. So, without any further ado, if you guys don't know who I am Chris. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. If you guys are feeling the same way that I am about the Chamber pay-per-view, the ending of the Chamber pay-per-view, which fucking sucked. If you guys feel the same way that I do, hit that like button, please. Leave a comment down below your thoughts of the show. Could Edge have fucking picked Drew McIntyre? At this point, I kind of wish he did. Because him and Roman, that doesn't spell out WrestleMania to me. It does not. Especially when we all know that Roman isn't losing anytime soon. So leave a comment down below your thoughts on the show. What did you like about it? What did you hate about it? And etc, etc, etc. And also, if you guys are new to the channel, and you guys are watching this for the first time and you're intrigued in what you like, hit that subscribe button down below and please turn that bell for all notifications. SmackDown review is live on the channel right now. Does Roman Reigns won Edge at Mania? I think after what we got tonight, I think Edge wanted Roman more. So if you guys haven't checked out SmackDown review, please do so. Link to that video will be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen and also down below in the description. And also if you guys are into the Call of Duty gameplay, I have a Call of Duty gameplay on the channel on my Mac 10 setup. If you guys want to see that video, link to that video will also be in the annotation above that you see on the upper hand corner of your screen and also down below in the description. If you guys also haven't followed me on social media, please do so. Twitter at GoodVibesChris_, and Instagram at GoodVibesChris183. So there you guys have it. Follow me on social media and stay connected with your boy Chris. Kickoff show. We got a fatal 4-way. It was rumored earlier that it was going to be a battle royal, but it ended up being a fatal 4-way. Ricochet, John Morrison, Elias, and Mustafa, I apologize, Mustafa Ali. And the winner of this fatal 4-way will be the number one contender. It will take Keith Lee's spot in the triple threat match later on tonight for the United States Championship. Now, I did a fucking process of elimination here. Out of all these 4 men, out of Ricochet, Morrison, Elias, and Mustafa Ali, who makes the most sense here and who's seen on TV the most? Ricochet? Not Ricochet. Ricochet's been on main event every single week. So it can't be Ricochet winning this. Elias? Haven't seen Elias in a few weeks. So it can't be Elias. Can't be Mustafa Ali. Because they're not going to push him there. So by process of elimination, I had John Morrison winning this match. And guess what? John Morrison ended up winning this fatal 4-way number one contenders match to take Keith Lee's spot in the triple threat match for the United States Championship. It is what it is. I'm not going to go over what happened because I didn't watch the pre-show, so who gives a shit? John Morrison goes on to take Keith Lee's spot in the triple threat United States Championship match later on in the show. Main show here. This Chamber pay-per-view kicked off with the SmackDown Elimination Chamber. And the winner would face Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship right after the show. Well, not after the show, after the match. After the Chamber match. Now, I did predict Daniel Bryan to win. I did. I predicted Daniel Bryan to win. And I also made a prediction on the SmackDown review back on Friday that Daniel Bryan and Cesaro would be the final 2 men in the SmackDown Chamber, but that wasn't the case here. Wasn't the case. But If I had to say, out of the 2 chamber matches that was good, either Raw or SmackDown, I gotta say SmackDown one was better. The SmackDown chamber match is better than Raw. But I will say this though, which is the only positive thing that I will say about this match. This match was good. Don't get me wrong. The match was good. Don't get me wrong. Everything was well done. Everything was good to go. But my only gripe here in this, why is Kevin Owens in this match? Why is Kevin Owens? He just came out of a loss to Roman Reigns at the Royal Rumble in a last man standing match. Kevin Owens now is 0-3 against Roman Reigns. Why is he even in this chamber match? You could have had Reigns defend the Universal Championship. You could have had Kevin Owens out this matchup and put Roman Reigns in this matchup and have Reigns defend the title in the chamber. We all knew Reigns was going to win the match anyways. We all know Reigns is not losing during WrestleMania season. So you could have had Reigns defend the championship in the chamber and have Kevin Owens at the matchup. I've had people on fucking Twitter tell me, oh, but you know, I'd rather have KO win this match. Why? Why would you have KO win this chamber match? He's 0-3 against Roman Reigns. Why you want to see a 4th matchup when we already know that Reigns is winning? Oh, but there's a story there. What story? The only story you can sit there and tell me is that KO is 0-3 against Roman Reigns. So what is the other story there that you can tell me for Kevin Owens to go up against Roman Reigns in a 4th Universal title match? I would love to know. You could have just sat there, have Kevin Owens out the matchup, because it's 0-3 against Reigns, I gotta say that again, and have Reigns defend his title in the chamber. But who the fuck am I? I'm just some 28, 29-year-old that's doing YouTube videos as a hobby. That also loves to talk wrestling and sports at the same time. This chamber match was good. Very good. Very well paced. Very well paced. Everything else was good. All 6 guys did their thing here in this matchup. So who was in the pots? I know Daniel Bryan and Cesaro kicked off the match. So Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, and Kevin Owens were in the separate pots. So both men kicked off the matchup. So Baron Corbin came out third. I shall not call him king. I will call him Baron Corbin, no longer king. They need to kill the king gimmick off. Please. Please. Thank you. So, Corbin came out at number 3. Sami Zayn came out at number 4. I know Kevin Owens came in at 5. And Jey Uso came out last at number 6. Who else here? So, Baron Corbin gets eliminated by Cesaro with a sharpshooter. Very good spot there. Very, very good spot. Listen, Cesaro is a freak of nature. I said it on Twitter. Cesaro is a fucking freak of nature. There was a spot where Cesaro and Sami Zayn were on top of the pod, and they were climbing towards the wall of the chamber like fucking Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man. Cesaro takes Sami Zayn, kicks him off the wall, Zayn falls to the floor, and Cesaro's doing a few pull-ups on the roof of the chamber. On the roof of the entire fucking structure. Holy shit. I wish I was fucking Cesaro in my fucking prime. Jesus fucking Christ. That man is built like a fucking onyx. Like an ox. Jesus Christ. So Cesaro works on Corbin, does a swing, then applies a sharpshooter, and Corbin taps out. Sayonara, Mr. Baron Corbin. Corbin gets eliminated first, and now we're down to 5 men in this chamber. Matchup keeps going on. Match keeps on going on. Sami Zayn gets eliminated because of Kevin Owens and the stunner. Sami Zayn was trying to team up with Kevin Owens at some point, at two points during this matchup. And KO said, fuck you. Deliver the stunner, 1, 2, 3. Zayn is out. So Sami Zayn is out. And we're down to 4, which is Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, Cesaro, and Daniel Bryan at this point. Kevin Owens got eliminated here as well at some point. Yes, KO got eliminated. I love this spot. After KO eliminated Zayn, what was happening? As Zayn is leaving the match, Uso slams the chamber door on Owens' arm. I think it was his left arm. His right arm. His right arm. Then super kicks him over and over again. Uso knocks Owens back into the ring and hits an Uso splash for the pinfall. Kevin Owens gets eliminated. That was a good spot. That was a good arm spot with the chamber door, and Jey Uso was trying to ram the door as hard as possible to injure Kevin Owens' right arm as much as possible. I love that spot. Very good spot there by Jey Uso. Very good spot. So, after that, Bryan goes to the top rope and Cesaro goes after. Then Cesaro hits a military press into a gut buster from the top rope. Cesaro does a one-leg swing from Bryan, but Jey catches him with a super kick. Jey goes up top for an Uso splash and a pin. He pins Cesaro. So, it's down to Jey Uso and Daniel Bryan. And then from that point on, I knew Daniel Bryan was going to win this matchup. I predicted that it was going to be Cesaro and Daniel Bryan as the last 2 men. So Cesaro's gone. We're down to Uso and Bryan. Uso drags Bryan into the middle of the ring, then hits an Uso splash, but Bryan kicks out. Jey can't believe it. Uso drags Bryan over the corner and climbs onto the top of the pod and leaps for another splash, but Bryan gets his knees up. Bryan hits the running knee for the win, and Daniel Bryan pins Jey Uso to become the #1 contender for the Universal Championship. As soon as the chamber lifts and Jey rolls out of the ring, Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman march down to the ring. Bryan, at this point, can barely fucking stand. Daniel Bryan's on one fucking leg at this point. So we get the Universal Championship match right after. Reigns defends the title against Daniel Bryan. I predicted that Reigns was going to change his mind, but knowing that the prick heel that he is, that I love so much, he decided to fuck up Daniel Bryan as much as possible here. So the bell rings and Roman runs for a spear, but Bryan counters into the yes lock. He countered that spear so fucking quickly. I told myself, wow, what if Reigns taps out? So quickly, what if? So Reigns fights it and powers Bryan's hands apart. Roman turns Bryan over and batters him with right hands and forearms. Reigns beats on Bryan for a brief minute, then applies the guillotine, and Bryan passes out. He didn't tap out. He passes out. Now, I was going to tweet on Twitter. This on Twitter. That, okay, Daniel Bryan wins the chamber. This is the start of the feud between Bryan and Reigns. Maybe we do get Bryan and Reigns at WrestleMania for the Universal title, because they can go for the fact that Bryan never tapped out to the guillotine. So they can play off that. They can play off the fact that Daniel Bryan never tapped out to the guillotine. He passed out. Not tapped out, passed out. But right when I was about to hit tweet on my phone, Edge comes out of nowhere and spears Roman Reigns. Edge points at the WrestleMania sign, the fireworks and the pyro go off, and the match has been made official. Edge picks Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania. I have a problem with that. I asked the question on Twitter at least 4 to 5 times during this fucking show. If Edge is picking Roman Reigns, who is Drew McIntyre facing at WrestleMania for the WWE title? Who? Who the fuck writes this shit? Why would you have Edge pick Reigns for WrestleMania when Edge and Drew McIntyre is the better match? But people are going to sit there and tell me, oh, Chris, it's spear versus spear. Who gives a shit? Spear versus spear. the fuck? Who cares? And on top of that, Reigns barely uses the spear to finish his matches. He uses the guillotine submission move to finish his matches. I'm just having a headache here as I'm doing this review. I'm having a fucking migraine already. Why would you have Edge and Reigns at WrestleMania? So that automatically leaves you McIntyre at this point of the fucking show without a WrestleMania opponent. Thank God I don't work for WWE Creative, because if I did, holy shit, this would be completely fucking different. Another problem I have with, you wasted a Daniel Bryan Roman Reigns match just for Edge to pick his WrestleMania opponent. I have a problem with that. You wasted a Daniel Bryan Roman Reigns match at a D-level pay-per-view when you clearly 100% could have booked this match at WrestleMania. Like I said, if I was creative, if I was writing this whole shit, Edge would have won the Rumble. I would have booked Edge and McIntyre at WrestleMania. Simple. Very fucking simple. But no. Fuck WWE Creative. Fuck them. Fuck them at this point. They wasted a Daniel Bryan Roman Reigns match at a D-level pay-per-view that only lasted 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes tops. Just for Roman Reigns to pull on a guillotine on Daniel Bryan to pass out. Daniel Bryan just came out of a chamber pay-per-view. Well, a matchup. You see, this is how fucked up my head is. Daniel Bryan just came out of a chamber match. He started the chamber match, which I predicted to my softball crew on my fucking group chat there. I even said, have Daniel Bryan start the match and have him win. He goes after Reigns at WrestleMania. Guess what? They had Bryan and Reigns at a fucking D-level pay-per-view because Daniel Bryan was completely fucked up to a point where Daniel Bryan applied barely any fucking offense. Outside of the yes lock, nothing. Only for Edge now to pick Reigns at WrestleMania, and at this point, I'm there asking myself, if Edge is picking Reigns at WrestleMania, who the fuck is Drew McIntyre facing at WrestleMania? If he's walking in as champion. King. At this point. I don't know. So Edge picks Reigns at WrestleMania. Imagine going to WrestleMania. Couldn't be me. Listen, I got invited to go to WrestleMania. I got a few friends over in Tampa that asked me a couple weeks ago, Chris, would you want to come with us to WrestleMania? I would have to travel over there, but do you want to come with us to WrestleMania? Now, I don't even want to go to this fucking piece of shit show. I don't. And mind you, I was going to go to both nights with a few of my friends over in Tampa. Had a few friends over in Tampa. They gave me a call a few weeks ago. Hey, Chris, man, you know, they're going to have fans over at WrestleMania. Do you want to fly over to Tampa and come to WrestleMania with us? I haven't gave them my fucking answer yet, but at this point, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. I'll pass on WrestleMania. I'll fucking pass. Especially after what the fuck we got to end this fucking piece of shit show. You think for 1 second I want to fly over to fucking Tampa to watch The Miz as WWE champion? Fuck no. Fuck no. Edge picks Reigns for WrestleMania, and at this point, and at this fucking point, yeah. Good luck with me trying. Good luck trying to get me to care for WrestleMania. Good luck. Good luck trying to get me to care for WrestleMania, folks. But the chamber match, don't get me wrong, was good. The SmackDown chamber match was really good. It's just that the ending here really pissed me off. Bad Bunny, the 24/7 champion, is backstage and the Miz approaches him. Miz says he walks him on Saturday Night Live last night and it was great, but him and Morrison should have been the guest. Miz asks why he's there, And Bunny said he's a champion, and that makes fun of Miz. And he makes fun of Miz for not being one. Miz shoves him, and Bunny slaps him back. The Miz turns around, and Damian Priest is there staring at him. Miz storms off, and Priest slaps with Bad Bunny. U.S. title match, triple threat match. Bobby Lashley defends against Matt Riddle. I will not call him Riddle. Matt Riddle. Bro. And John Morrison. Not gonna lie to you, this triple threat match, it wasn't that bad. It was alright for what it was. It was okay for what it was. I did predict that Lashley would retain the title. But that was not the case here. Matt Riddle is your new U.S. champion. Good for him. Low-key, good for him. Riddle hits a forearm in the corner, then another, and exploded suplex. Riddle misses a kick, then a moonsault, but lands a Broton. Riddle hits a German suplex to Morrison for a near fall. Lashley comes back in, but Riddle drops him with a kick. Then Morrison shoves Riddle out and hits Lashley with Starship Pain for a near fall. MVP starts calling Morrison an idiot. So he gets out to argue with him. Morrison takes MVP's crutch, then gets back inside and tries to hit Lashley, but gets caught with the hurt lock. Riddle slides in, hits Lashley with the crutch, then catches Morrison with the Bro Derek for the win. And after Riddle hit Lashley with the crutch, Lashley went out of the ring, stood there for a good 10-15 seconds, and next thing you know, he's no longer U.S. champion. Riddle catches Morrison with a Bro Derek and wins the United States Championship. Good for Matt Riddle. Good for him, man. You can see now that, they're starting to really like Matt Riddle a lot on Raw. Good. Matt Riddle's very good in the ring. He's very good. Morrison, I would rather much prefer Morrison as a singles guy, but to each his own here. And Lashley, listen, man, Lashley's very, very good. But especially after what happened tonight, towards the end of the show, and in the future now, I have no idea what they do with him. I have no idea. Do we get Lashley and McIntyre at WrestleMania? I don't know, but we'll see what happens. Kayla Braxton interviews Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks backstage and asks about her WrestleMania choice, if they can coexist tonight. Reginald, fucking hate Reginald. Reginald appears beside them and says, of course they can. Bianca is the EST of WWE, and someone as beautiful as Sasha can get along with anyone. Bianca says tonight might make her decision easier. Reginald also said he was going to hold a bottle of champagne. Champagne. Who gives a fuck? On ice if they win the women's tag team titles. So again, Nia Jackson, Sasha Banks. Well, I said Nia. You see, this is how much I fucking... this is how much I have a headache here. Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler defend the women's tag team titles against Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. This match was a waste of time. This was literally the same match we saw last week, or on SmackDown Friday. Just take out Reginald and Bayley. You get the same match there. Same match, same outcome. I don't like the fact that Sasha Banks got pinned here. I don't like it. Jax tries to run through Banks and Belair, but Sasha hits a Meteora for a 2 count. Banks hits a sunset flip, and suddenly Reginald is at ringside with a bottle of champagne and 2 glasses. Banks applies a bank statement to Jax, but Jax reaches the ropes. Reginald hands Banks the bottle of champagne, but she doesn't want to use it and hands it to the referee. Jax lifts Banks from behind, hits a Samoan drop, and pins Sasha Banks 1, 2, 3. Can I ask the question, why isn't it Bianca Belair suffering the pinfall? Why does Sasha Banks have to suffer the pinfall and not Bianca Belair? Why? Sasha Banks is the SmackDown Women's Champion. Champions should not be losing on TV, especially on pay-per-view, especially if their title is not on the line. At this fucking juncture. I don't get it. Why is Sasha here getting pinned? Nia and Shayna retain the Women's Tag Team Championships. Get this, folks. A bottle of champagne cost Sasha and Bianca the Women's Tag Team titles. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Kevin. Do you care about this match? No? There you go. Even Kevin himself doesn't give a fuck. There you go. There you go. After the match, Shayna and Nia leave up the ramp and Belair and Banks berate Reginald for costing them the match. We move on to the main event, folks. Drew McIntyre defends the WWE Championship against Randy Orton, Sheamus, AJ Styles, Jeff Hardy, and Kofi Kingston. We had Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy kick off the matchup. That means McIntyre, Sheamus, Kofi Kingston, and AJ Styles in pods. So McIntyre comes out third. Orton gets eliminated by Kofi Kingston as soon as Kofi came into the matchup. Kofi eliminates Randy with a roll-up. As soon as Orton gets up, he RKO'd Kofi, then Hardy as well. Orton leaves, but almost opens the pod door for AJ. And he runs in and tries to pin Kofi and Jeff, but they both kick out. Adam Pearce runs down. It gets almost from ringside, while AJ argues from inside the chamber. Now, that is something I did not get. So Kofi Kingston just came into the matchup, pins Randy Orton. By the way, I was also predicting if McIntyre was not winning, Orton was winning this matchup. 100%. So Orton leaves. Orton is the first one gone. So from this point, I'm telling myself, okay, Orton is the first one gone. The Fiend doesn't show up to cost Orton the matchup, nor Alexa Bliss. Does that mean McIntyre retained the title? Because outside of Randy Orton, who else has a legit shot to win the title? Outside of Orton. None at this point. So I'm sitting here comfortably. Okay, maybe McIntyre retains the title. But another thing I did not get here. So Kofi Kingston comes out, pins Randy Orton. After that, after Orton attacks Kofi and Jeff with the RKO, almost takes the glass out of the fucking pod and takes AJ out. Why is he doing that? AJ is coming out next. AJ is coming out next, so you might as well fucking have him wait the other 3-4 minutes before he comes out. Because if Kofi came out, it was like what? A minute in? That he just came out? A minute in. And he pins Randy Orton. So why is almost taking out the glass out of the pod and help AJ Styles come out of the chamber, surround himself back in, and goes into the matchup? You couldn't wait another 3-4 minutes for that to happen? For you to come out of the pod? But instead you want to come out ASAP. Why are you rushing to go in the chamber? Why the fuck are you rushing? That kind of confused me. That confused the living shit out of me from that point. That confused the living shit out of me. So Kofi eliminates Randy. Randy's out of the matchup. Who else got eliminated next after? I think it was Hardy that got eliminated next, I believe. So Orton gets eliminated. Trying to look for here who got eliminated next. I think it was Kofi. Yeah. Kofi's out next. Sheamus hit Kofi with a bro kick. Kofi's gone. Jeff Hardy's gone after a Claymore kick from Drew McIntyre. So it's down to Sheamus, Drew, and AJ left. Sheamus and McIntyre brawl, and the Irishman catches Scott with a big knee to the jaw for a near fall. Sheamus is furious and he kicks the back of McIntyre before standing in his face. Sheamus and Drew with white noise. Sheamus hits Drew with white noise, and both men are down. Styles comes off the top rope with a senton, then goes for a springboard for a 50 for a near fall. Sheamus gets angry and slaps AJ before tossing him over the top rope and hits the 10 beats of the of the Byron. Sheamus tosses AJ back in, hits a flying clothesline, then looks for a brogue kick, but AJ avoids it. Drew comes back, but Sheamus catches him with a brogue. Then AJ hits Sheamus with a phenomenal forearm and pins him, so Sheamus is gone. So at this point, I'm telling myself, okay, Sheamus is gone, AJ's left. Okay, Drew is 100% retaining the title. So Sheamus is gone. Styles kicks McIntyre, goes to the apron for a phenomenal forearm, but Drew catches him with a claymore in midair. Love that spot. AJ goes for the phenomenal forearm. Drew catches him with the claymore from mid-fucking-air and retains the WWE title. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, good. McIntyre retains the title. He's going to WrestleMania as WWE champion. Good. The cage raises and Drew celebrates his win, but suddenly Bobby Lashley appears and spears him. And from there, I'm telling myself, no. Don't tell me they're going to have the Miz cash in Money in the Bank and win the title. Lashley beats the crap out of McIntyre and tosses him out of the ring. Lashley slams Drew's head into the announce table over and over, then gets him back into the ring and applies the Hurt Lock until Drew collapses. Then the Miz music hits, and at that point, I had a fucking stroke. At that point, I was fucking nearing catching a fucking stroke. The Miz's music hits. Once McIntyre gets to his feet, the referee calls for the bell to start the cash-in attempt, and the Miz runs over to kick the knee and land a snap DDT on Drew. Drew kicks out. Miz then lifts McIntyre, hits the Skull Crusher finale, pins Drew McIntyre 1, 2, 3, and wins the WWE Championship. The Miz is your new WWE Champion. The Miz wins the championship for the first time in 10 years. Miz celebrates his shocking win as the show comes to a close. Now, I'm not no dummy. I'm not no fucking dummy. As I'm sitting here talking to you guys about this review, now I thought to myself, why did The Miz win the WWE title? My guess is this. I guarantee you, we're getting Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley at Fastlane on March 21st. The winner of that matchup will face The Miz at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. Drew McIntyre will beat Lashley at that show at Fastlane. Drew McIntyre will face The Miz at WrestleMania for the title. Drew McIntyre will win the WWE Championship again for the third time at WrestleMania. Now, here is the reason why The Miz won the championship now. You remember, guys, last year when McIntyre won the Rumble and when McIntyre faced Brock Lesnar for the WWE Championship. The match was supposed to happen at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, but the pandemic hit, so the WWE had to pull off the biggest audible ever. They put WrestleMania in the Performance Center, where Drew McIntyre won the WWE title with no fans in attendance. Now, Vince can have fans at WrestleMania. Vince can have up to, I believe, 22 to 25,000, maybe 30,000 for WrestleMania. Drew McIntyre is not going to walk in at WrestleMania as champion. He's going to walk out at WrestleMania as WWE champion. Drew McIntyre won the championship last year without any fans in attendance. So what I'm guessing what they're going to do this year is that have The Miz be champion, have The Miz walk into WrestleMania as champion, have Drew McIntyre chase the championship again at WrestleMania again, and have McIntyre beat The Miz at WrestleMania in front of a crowd for the WWE title, because Drew McIntyre couldn't do that last year because of the fact that it was a pandemic of COVID and they couldn't do WrestleMania at Raymond James Stadium. That's my only gripe. That's my only reason on why they could possibly have McIntyre chase the championship instead of McIntyre walking in the WrestleMania as champion. But then again, this is where I call WWE a fucking piece of fucking shit. This all could have been avoided. Like I said, this all could have been avoided if you had Edge pick Drew McIntyre and have Daniel Bryan face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania for the Universal Championship. You could have had two World Championship matches already booked, set in stone for WrestleMania. Edge and Drew McIntyre sounds a whole lot fucking better than The Miz and Drew McIntyre. Don't you ask that? Don't you ask me? Which match to you sounds good? Miz and McIntyre or Edge and McIntyre? I'm guessing you guys are picking Edge and McIntyre. Which is why now I'm saying, why are we getting Edge and Roman? Where Drew could have been face Edge and we could have got Daniel Bryan and Reigns for WrestleMania. WWE has the ability to book one of the best WrestleManias coming out of the pandemic era. And now look what we're getting for WrestleMania. Miz and McIntyre, most likely for the title, and Edge and Reigns. Folks, we are on the road to what quite possibly be another all-time worst WrestleMania. Card-wise. Terrible. Terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. I think I ripped this show a new asshole for tonight. I think I did. And that, folks, I'm done. I'm done with this review. That's it, guys, for the Elimination Chamber review and results video. If you guys enjoyed the review, hit that like button. Leave a comment down below. What were your thoughts of the pay-per-view? What were your thoughts of the Chamber match? What could you have done differently if you were WWE creative? Also, if you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below. And please, guys, turn on bell for notifications, as I will start uploading every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday with Raw review. Wednesday was NXT review. I will be reviewing NXT on Wednesday, and Friday for Friday Night SmackDown review. So, guys, hit that subscribe button down below. Turn that bell, guys, for all notifications. SmackDown review is live on the channel right now. Link to that video will be down below in the description and also in the upper hand corner of your screen in the annotation. If you guys want to follow me on social media, please do so. Twitter at GoodVibesChris_, and also on Instagram at GoodVibesChris183. I will see you guys tomorrow for Monday Night Raw review. Until then, guys, have a good night. Stay safe. Use your hand sanitizers, folks. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Use your hand sanitizers. Wash your hands all the time. Wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. And I will see you guys tomorrow for Monday Night Raw review, guys. Until then, guys, I am Chris. Hit that like button. Talk to you guys tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw for the fallout of the Elimination Chamber. Talk to you guys later.